In July of every summer, most students are looking forward to getting ready for their new school year. But this year, we had a new administrator looking forward to coming to Rider for the first time. That is today's guest, Shannon Kaur, the new director of Greek Life. Welcome to Rider Real Time.
Thank you very much.
Now, you've heard a lot of buzz about this show,
yes,
I hope.
I have.
And I hope you know it's a real honor, and it's an honor for us to have you here.
Thank you so much.
So welcome. Just want to get started on this conversation is, how did you get to Rider?
Well, I was kind of looking for something different, and
Okay.
I had been out of Greek Life for about 2 years, so I was looking to get back into Greek Life. And I'm kind of an East Coast person, so I was kind of limiting where I was looking.
Okay.
And I saw the opportunity at Rider. And years ago in Greek Life, I had actually known the previous Greek director. So
really?
I knew the reputation of Rider, and I
Okay.
knew some of the issues that had happened over the past years and how Ada had been approaching them. And so a couple things from that came to me. One, how much Ada really enjoyed the school. And I didn't even at the time know she was a Rider alum.
Oh, yeah?
I just knew she worked here.
Yeah.
But also through some of the issues and the difficult times that they'd had, the way that the institution handled the situation really spoke to the commitment of the institution.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas so many other schools, if there'd been problems, would have been like, Greek Life's gone.
Yeah.
Whereas Rider took the time to invest into it. And so I really thought that really spoke to the effort that the school puts
Sure.
into their staff support and their student support. And so that really appealed to me about the campus.
So you did know about Rider before you got here?
Yes.
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 And it's a fantastic place.
Yes, it
It's a
is.
very warm, wonderful community. What were your first impressions when you got here?
It reminded me very much, excuse me, of a previous institution I'd been at in
Oh, yeah?
northeastern Pennsylvania. Very similar in size, but also kind of the typical person from away
Yeah.
was like, this is Jersey? Wow, it's kind of a nice, pretty campus. Not so far from Trenton, but it really felt like a nice feel and a family feel. And
Yeah.
that was my initial kind of, this is not quite what I expected, but I really like it.
Yeah, it's like a nice small campus with a lot of big personalities.
Yeah.
Who were some of the big personalities that stood out to you?
Oh, well, obviously you.
I'm just
You're a
loud. I don't know if I'm a big
personality.
personality.
Tony really struck me during my interview.
Oh, yeah? He's got that laugh.
Yes.
If you don't remember anything else about Tony Campbell, it's the laugh.
Well, I left here going, I loved this interview. I love this campus.
Did you?
I want this job.
Uh-huh.
He was one of the big people that I remember from my initial reaction. Jonathan also.
Okay,
Jonathan
Sorge.
Sorge. And those were like probably, because I had such limited reaction. And when I came here in July, most of the staff was sort of on their summer break. So those were the two people that really kind of struck me. Dave Keenan also left a big impression on me.
Another one, the laugh. That one's from the
It's
gut
very
laugh.
true.
You know that one. How about Ira Mayo, I assume, made a nice impression on you.
You know, I didn't know quite what to think of Ira, excuse me, Myra. He's going to love that.
Well, good. That's payback.
You can get back at him, yeah.
As you know, he called me a fat pig on my own show. Like, literally, at one point, told me to put the fork down because he called me fat. Actually, I think the Rider Real Time staff has the clip to show you. Because I worked fall opening, as you know, with a pain in my tooth, which turned out to be a wisdom tooth, breaking the tooth next to it, causing a root to be exposed.
We saw your face was a little swollen. We didn't want to tell you anything.
Well,
Nick.
so he is bullying me aggressively in front of
Everyone.
hundreds of people without any sympathy.
Well, now you can get back to him and start calling
So
him Myra. There you go.
That's not going to go well.
You know, he was one of the people that seemed a little bit more reserved in my interview in my first couple weeks here. And,
Yeah.
and obviously he was busy with orientation
Sure,
and things. So I
sure.
was kind of like, I'm not quite so sure. But, you know, as I spend more time in the office, one of the things I really love is just the camaraderie, and everyone's really friendly. And I was joking my first few weeks here, you know, I was like, I've got to read this, I've got to learn about this, and what am I going to do? And, you know, pretty much on the dot at 3:30, you could start to hear the social interaction in the office. And I'm like, oh, it's the end of the day, kind of
The tensions
wind down.
are gone, everyone's just chilling.
And so it was really just kind of comfortable, whereas one of my previous institution, it was just like, go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, I need to slow down,
Yeah.
and I need to get to know the people I'm working with. So it's been really fun.
Very, very cool. I had a question that had just come to me, and I just lost it. But anyway.
It'll come back.
What was your aha moment that you wanted to get involved, though, in higher education?
I was one of those typical undergraduate students. Some of my background, I grew up, oddly enough, painfully shy.
Really?
Yeah. Like
well.
hide, just completely hide, stay
as
with my
well.
parents, stick with my books, whatever. I'm a big reader.
Yeah.
And I came to college, and somehow well, I had a unique experience my freshman year in a dorm that didn't have an RA.
Okay.
So we were kind of left to ourselves to get out there and find things on campus. And I got frightened away from Greek life at first. And my sophomore year, I was like, okay, you know what? If I want to be involved, this is how I'm going to do it.
Sure.
I started breaking some of that shy thing. So I got involved with student government and all those sorts of things. By the time of my senior year of college, I lived in our Dean of Students office, like a couch like this.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just there. If it wasn't class time, I was on the couch.
Yeah.
And started to realize that there is a profession
Yeah.
available in student life and student affairs. And so it was kind of one of those things where I just kind of fell into it. And then, of course, that was my senior year. And when I graduated, that's when I found there's a degree. And I was like, ooh, wait a second.
Well, don't you love that moment? Because I remember vividly when someone tapped me on the shoulder to say, hey, did you think about this? But it's like almost like eye-opening, like I never even thought that
Yeah,
this was a profession. Or like I see it with students all the time when I'll say, have you thought about going into higher education? And like their eyes like go, well, I go, well, what do you think I do?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's like, wow, I never thought you could do this. Like even the people that run, like you can run a college TV studio apart from just going to New York. Like,
Right.
You know, that's just as exciting, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I was completely, just kind of blown away. And of course, it was like 3 weeks before graduation. I'm like, well,
Yeah,
too
yeah.
late to change now. But
yeah.
I took a break into business for about 8 years and then kind of fell back into it when I was like, you know what? I don't like what I'm doing in business.
Yeah.
Let's go back to what I thought I wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of passion about Greek life,
Absolutely.
which you are involved in. And let's talk about the good passion, the great passion that everyone like. Where does that come from? What is the core to that?
I think a lot of it is that united sisterhood and brotherhood that you
Yes.
really get from it, because that support is really what kind of got me out of my shell
Mm-hmm.
and gave me a lot of opportunities, opened my eyes to other opportunities on campus.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'll be the first to admit there are negative aspects that people can take,
Sure.
but the people who want to get the positive out of it really can and grow from it.
Yes.
And so it fascinates me how much it changed my personality, those opportunities. And, other students might find them in other clubs and organizations, but for Greek life, that was where I found
Sure.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so working with students to help them find that path, I think has kind of become a passion of mine because it meant so much to me.
Yeah, and I advise one of the fraternities on campus, and those are my guys. Like
Yeah.
I love hearing the stories about them living together, all that other stuff. And you live on campus, so
Yes.
you're living with these guys in the trenches. And I don't live on campus, obviously. So what do you think is the difference between living on campus versus living off campus as an administrator?
Well, it's kind of this unique thing. One, it's weird after having had like my own house or apartments or whatever to be back
Yes.
and like, okay, is that a party or is that just I can hear the next door neighbors,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
getting used to that sort of thing. But also the realization that you really do live at work full time
Sure.
and that you're under the microscope and any choices that you make as a leader on campus or a staff member
Yes.
is right out there in the public.
Oh,
So you have
totally.
to be completely aware of what you're putting out for students and how you're interacting with students and trying to ensure that it's always a positive interaction. And so even while you might just be having dinner, something could be picked up or a conversation could be picked up. And so really living under that microscope is a totally different thing than being an administrator off campus.
Absolutely.
And then the number of opportunities just for informal interaction with students is just, I think it's just such a much more powerful opportunity.
Yeah, I could see that. Actually, it's funny you say that. I mean, now that as you mentioned, I said, I started reflecting on some of the nights where I've been here a little longer than I
Mm-hmm.
had intended or late an event, and then how things, you're less smooth than you
Yep.
were earlier in the day.
It's like
and,
after hours, I'm just
Yeah.
I'm kicking back, but,
how
let's
people
talk.
could hear that, misconstrue some of
Yeah.
those kind of things. So you've been here for 3 months.
Yes.
Been here at Ryder. What was your best day? I told you I was going to ask you this, and you said this was going to be a tough
This is
question.
a tough one. I don't know that I can come up with a best day yet, but I have a bunch of moments.
Okay.
Always coming into a new atmosphere, you're like, okay, am I going to be what they expected? Am I going to do what they're looking
Sure.
for? And just a number of people, administrators and students, have just come to say, I just want to say you're doing a great job, and thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we're so excited you're here. And so getting that feedback and knowing that after 3 months, now granted, there's going to be things I'll do that might not make some people so happy.
Yeah.
But in general, the reception has been really positive and really exciting. So I think, those moments have been like, oh, well, thanks. And, that reassurance that,
Yeah.
you're on the right track.
Yeah, well, I remember when you were getting interviewed, Joyce Suarez, who is one of the Lambda Theta Phi
Mm-hmm.
gentlemen who I advise, was so excited about you. And I remember that day him coming in and saying, oh, she was great. And I remember going, oh, then I hope for his sake You know,
Yeah.
that's because I wasn't part of the interview.
Right.
But someone who was part of your interview was Carson Langenfelder.
Yes,
You know him.
yes.
You know, he's actually the most viewed guest of Right of Real Time.
Really?
We've moved to Vimeo for as the online
Yeah.
server of this. So you have to challenge him for this title. So you have to make sure all of the Greek
Okay.
Life students watch this episode and
Absolutely.
get those hits up, because he believes he had the Oprah effect on Right of Real Time, which is just repulsive.
The two of you are just going to get a coffee time going now.
No, I don't want him, because he's just going to have his own sequel eventually,
Yes.
like this, or a spin-off, and that would irritate me to no end. But talking about Oprah, as we just keep chugging
Yep.
along, one of the things I like to ask people is I read O Magazine
Yes.
all the time, and the last page of every magazine is what she knows for sure.
Okay.
What do you know for sure?
Oh, give me an example. Like,
Last week I had what I know for sure. This week, what I would say what I know for sure is, what's my lesson that I'm feeling especially good about this week? It really is about the process over the product.
okay, yeah.
Because as I'm working with my emerging leaders to do the Midnight Macness, which is our kickoff to
Yeah.
the basketball season, the pep rally, the decorations, I'm
Yeah.
beginning to feel like a little suffocated by, oh my God, how are we going to get a rocket in here? How are we going to create the moon? But in the process, you can see the learning that's
Yes.
going on, and that really that's the most impactful thing for them than the finished product that we're going to have a design, which is still great, but that's one thing I definitely know for sure is
Okay.
that for them that's
Okay.
important.
So, what I know for sure about being at Ryder
About
necessarily?
being life, about you,
Okay.
anything. Meryl Streep once said, "I know for sure that I'm never going to lose the weight for my first baby." And
I don't want to talk about that. What I know for sure is I think that my time here at Ryder is going to be, like you said, a process.
Yeah.
But I think the opportunity for some really positive change,
Yeah.
not that they're doing anything bad, but I think they're just ready to go to the next level in the Greek community. That's going to take some time,
Yeah.
but I think the students are ready to take that on.
Yeah.
And like I know they're going to put some time and effort in, and we're going to have some issues here and there and some disagreements.
But the
I think
opportunity's there.
ultimately we're going to have some really good dialogue
Yeah.
about where do the students, because that's ultimately not just the process,
Yeah.
but the result is it's the students' experience. So it's not about what I think is great and what I think is right,
Yeah.
but helping them to verbalize and envision what they see their
Sure.
experience being, and trying to show them the right kind of path to the best thing. So
A safe, healthy environment, but doing it the right way.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
And so I think that's something, it's going to be work and it may take some time,
Yeah.
but I know we are going to get there, and students I think are going to be really happy
You know
with it.
for sure we're going to get there.
Absolutely.
We love that. All right, so this is everyone's favorite part of Real Time,
I'm
which
frightened.
is the rapid fire, which I kind of gave you some
Yep.
tips on the other questions, but these you do not know.
Okay.
What is Shannon's favorite CD?
My favorite CD, oddly enough, would probably have to be Beastie Boys' License to Ill.
Is Shannon a party girl?
I've had my moments.
What was what was the big song from that? Was it I don't remember.
Oh,
that.
now you put me on the spot. Now I can't think of it.
But
I
you-
Like Girls is one of the songs
Okay.
on there. Right to Party.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You gotta fight. Oh, okay. All right. The Beastie Boys.
Yes.
They opened for Madonna in 1985.
Oh, did they really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. I go for sappy girl movies for favorite movies, or the opposite end of the spectrum, like
Action
big
movies.
blockbuster kind of things. So I'd say one of my favorites that I could probably watch over and over again is Independence Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember dragging my father to see that. And he hated every minute of it. All right. What's your favorite comfort food?
Mac and cheese.
Absolutely. That's everyone's favorite comfort food. I
Can't
think.
go wrong with that.
What's your favorite local restaurant that you found?
I haven't really been out to local restaurants yet. I'm
So it's Daly's?
well, I don't want to go that far either. I do like Daly's. My parents
Yes.
have been so impressed with it. I keep telling them what the entrees are, and they're like, our dining food wasn't like that in college.
Sure.
But I'm a big Fridays person. I like going to
Oh, yeah.
Fridays a lot.
Okay.
Other than that, locally, I haven't really been to many places other than Winberry's, which was nice.
Yeah.
But with my parents, they're coming up this weekend, and so that's on the list of things to do.
Are you a sushi fan?
I'm not a huge sushi fan.
Really?
And I think part of it is I just haven't had someone who knows sushi
Oh, okay.
take me
help
to
you?
and rather than just like the Wegmans prepackaged
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like
No,
that.
no,
So
no,
I need
no.
to get a good
With
lesson.
the too cold rice. And,
Yeah.
No. You don't
Yeah.
want all that. You got to. There's also an easing in factor. It's an acquired taste for
So
sure.
today I'm planning on asking several people what their favorite restaurants are, so I can get my parents to take me to something new.
Very nice. Well, I like Piccolo in Pennington, so it's
Okay.
right around the corner. That one's a big favorite of mine. What's your favorite book? You're a reader. Of
I'm a
course.
reader. Favorite book of all time would have to be Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, okay.
And
Never
I've
read
read
that
that a number of times. I read a lot of, I'd say, like British period sort of things. I'm a big mystery reader.
Okay.
And a lot of like historical fiction or biography kind of things. So,
Yeah, cool.
not a romance reader. I'm not a big sci-fi reader.
Okay. Have you read The Alchemist?
I haven't.
I'll have to lend it to you. I read it this summer. I thought it was fantastic.
I kind of pushed my boundaries and read the Game of Thrones series this summer.
never read that.
And that's
one
classified
of
as
them vampire
sci-fi.
stuff?
No.
I don't get all that crazy.
Well, I suppose there's kind of, it's more like a cross between The Hobbit and like, I don't know, Harry Potter or something.
I don't
There's
have time for all
witchcraft
that
and
craziness.
it's actually really good. I've really enjoyed it.
Okay. What was your favorite Madonna moment?
Oh, favorite Madonna moment.
She's the guiding principle of this show.
Is she? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I would have to say, again, I don't know that I want people to see this, but I
kiss,
think
was it?
No, it wasn't
Oh.
the kiss, but her artwork, her book that came out.
Oh, yes.
And just kind of being more open about who she is and being that bold woman
Yeah.
just stuck with me. Not necessarily anything I want to do.
Yeah.
But just, you know what? I am who I am, and you know what? I'm putting it out there.
Do you know that book is the most sought after out of print book
It's impossible, yeah.
of all time?
Right.
Which is crazy because when it first came out, it was deemed such a flop.
Flop.
You know what I mean? But it's sold, not only sold every single copy, but it's
Out of
still
print,
it's still
yeah.
out of print, is now sought after. Who's deeming this a flop?
Yes.
The critics. But anyway, the critics are in, and everyone is raving about you and saying
Thank
that you
you.
are such a welcome addition to this community, and I certainly feel that too. So thank you for being here for Real Time. I hope it wasn't too painful.
Not too painful.
Good experience, I hope, and you're welcome to come back here and promote some of the stuff coming up
Wonderful.
anytime you'd like.
Thank
and
you.
thank you all for watching Rider Real Time once again here. We're doing a lot of episodes this semester. We're already at 4. Last year we only did 6 for the whole first semester, and we're not even in October yet. So we got some good things coming up. Thanks again for everybody here at Run, and thanks for you for watching. Have a good weekend.